You know, if you'll just get out from underneath a blanket of light and go out and look up at the dark sky, you will see a spectacular display that will really fill you with a sense of wonderment. And when the time and the place is right, the universe will provide you with a light show that only it can produce. And tonight is one of those nights. Meteor showers happen throughout the year. Each provides an amazing light show. To understand a meteor shower's beauty, you have to see it in person. That's why I met up with McKay from the Las Vegas Astronomical Society. He's an amateur astronomer and avid astrophotographer. Loves the night sky and the wonder it offers. Okay, so take me through the difference between a shooting star, a meteor, and a comet, and what we're going to see tonight.
Well, shooting stars and meteors are one and the same. Children generally call them shooting stars, but the technical term is a meteor. And these meteors are just fine grains of dust that are slamming into the atmosphere at 25,000 miles an hour. So they immediately heat up and burn up, and that's what you're seeing, is the streak of fire as something as small as a grain of dust. I mean, we're talking about stuff that's tiny. If you see something that's really, really, really bright, a really bright meteor, they're called fireballs, those are generally about the size of a pea.
That's shocking to me. I always thought they were big rocks, you know, like.
No, the big rocks actually make it through the atmosphere and hit the ground and become meteor craters.
Any idea how old this meteor shower is? You know, we're just now seeing it, but how long has it been out there spinning around?
I think the Geminid Meteor Shower has been observed for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
So those specks of dust that you talk about that we get to see from way down here,
right?
There must be bazillions of them.
I think bazillion is a good number to describe it. Yeah, there's thousands or bazillions of them, and what's happened is the Earth passes through the path where the dust is, but then we move on, and that dust continues on, and it's in the same location next year around the same time, and so we pass through a different section of it the next time. And then when the asteroid that originated the dust comes through again, it leaves more dust. So it basically is like the opposite of a vacuum cleaner. The next time it comes around, instead of picking up all the dust, it drops more dust behind. And I think 3200 Phaethon is the name of the asteroid that's responsible for the Geminids, and I'm not exactly sure of like how often it orbits, but it could be multiple times in our lifetime.
And to see it at 2 in the morning is optimal, not just because it's dark, right? I mean, there's a physiological reason for that.
Yeah, the way the Earth is rotating, the part of the sky that's overhead is actually turned into the path of the dust, so we have more dust hitting us. You can see meteors at 8 o'clock at night. We may see a few here in the next little while, but the higher numbers are going to happen after midnight, between midnight and 4 a.m. And I think the Geminids peak around 2 a.m.
You've seen countless numbers of these, but on a night like tonight, we're expecting it to come through. Do you still get excited?
Every time I come out for a meteor shower, I'm excited. Yeah, even if it's a faint one. It's just another notch in the belt, kind of keep track of them. The Perseids one year we saw over the course of 2 nights, we counted, I believe, close to 500 in 2 nights. So, it's one of those things that you just want to catch the next one. You're hoping for that bright one. At a certain point, they become called fireballs, where they're a little bigger than that grain of dust that we talked about, and they might be the size of a pea. And when they hit the upper atmosphere, they will literally cast shadows on the ground. They're so bright. And they're pretty rare. I've seen maybe 10 my entire life, and I spend a lot of time out under the stars. But when you see one, you never forget it. You never forget it.
If somebody's never done this before and they're thinking about doing it, what would you say to them?
Find a local astronomy club and join the club and become, ask, because there's tons of people out there like myself that are eager to introduce you to the night sky. And there's such an abundance of information online now that there's no reason to not really dive in head first.
I remember wanting to be an astronomer and thinking it was just too much math. I wasn't smart enough.
Yeah, I'm not a mathematician myself. Anybody that knows me knows that. But there's a whole different side of astronomy that doesn't require the math, the physics. I mean, if you want to work for NASA or be an astronaut, yes, you've got to have that kind of brain. But to just get out and enjoy the night sky, have a telescope and view galaxies and nebulas and star clusters and meteor showers, anybody can do this.
Have you ever thought about how fortunate we are to be in Nevada right now and to be able to do this? Because there's places in this country where people have never done this.
Well, that's true. I mean, there's kids that have grown up in big cities that have never seen more than a handful of stars when they look up at the night sky. That's, Las Vegas being the city of lights, it is a pretty heavily light polluted area, but you can't really blame that all on the Strip. A lot of it has to do with the street lights in neighborhoods as well. But one of the great things about Nevada is that you can get in your car and you can drive a half hour in any direction and be under pristine dark skies like we're enjoying here tonight. I mean,
that's well said. You can go anywhere an hour and a half out and it'll change your day at the minimum. I got to tell you, one of the most amazing things you said tonight is that what I'm going to be seeing, these things racing across the sky, are the size of dust particles. I can't get over that. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, it is, and hopefully we'll get lucky and we'll see some of the slightly larger ones because those become the fireballs, and they're absolutely amazing. Once you see a fireball, you will not forget it.
Let's see what we can see.
All right.
Now to sit under the night sky and see this looks fake, but I can personally attest. This is what was in perfect view with the naked eye. If there's one thing I took away from this experience, is that I don't spend enough time looking up.